first, and we'll do this
So we want to
locate?
start off pretty much like, why are we talking to you right now?
Okay.
Who are you? What you did here, and then
I forgot.
who you are.
Who am I?
What you did.
Who
what
are
your
you?
relationship with
I don't know. What?
Saul Landau.
You're going to ask me questions?
We're gonna ask you questions.
Okay.
We're not just gonna ask you to like wing it. Don't worry. And yeah, anytime you want to do something like that, feel free.
Please go for it.
And it'd be great if you could give us like at some point like maybe you want to like show us a little piece like that would like something that would be in one of your plays.
No, I can't show you. You have to get up and do it. Come on, I'll show you a little
That'd be
piece.
great.
Yeah,
maybe we
I'm not gonna do it. I get paid for it. No, I'm not. Or I get paid after. We'll perform in the conversation. It'll be there.
Okay, all right.
I'm playing a little a Cuban song. Cuba, que linda es Cuba. Ha 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 ha. That's it. Cuba, que linda es Cuba.
I think, Heather, I might ask you to stand right here, just because it's a little unnatural. I've been looking so far to that. Okay. Just stand.
What do you want? You want me to move
No,
or
you're
no?
perfect. And Heather,
I'm gonna have like.
I know.
Get one of those stools. To carry a stool with you.
Just start carrying a stool.
Where's that grip? That's why you have to
Do
have
my
it.
yoga like chair pose.
Good for you. Keep on doing
I
it.
know. Oh, look at that. Actually, okay, can you sit right here?
Me, right here.
Yes. And
Good.
then I think we're ready. Oh, wait. Back up just a little bit. 'Cause I think we're ready to rock.
You ready to run?
Maybe like lean a little
Yes.
bit.
Okay.
All right, so just, we'll ask you to look at Heather to answer all the questions. And then, I guess of course if we could just,
Okay, I got you. What?
if we could ask you to start by introducing yourself.
Who are you? Who am I? That's what I should say right away.
Yeah.
I forget. My name? You want me to
Your
say?
name, your
My-
age.
My name? I'm not telling you my age.
We already know.
And the camera's moving already.
We already know who else you
Got
are. Actually, Lydia.
I have 3 names. R.G. Davis is my name, my official name. The author of my book and so on said, and my mother called me in for lunch. She never called me R.G. Anyway, Ronnie Davis. Some people call me in the 60s, and now I'm called Ron Davis. I'm also a PhD. How do you like that? So it's R.G. Davis, PhD. I always try to sign it because there's not too many people who have PhDs who I know. And I spent 15, 16 years trying to get one, and I finally got one. And it hasn't increased my income at all, as a matter of fact. But it really feels better. And I can talk to my family and say, who else has got a doctor in their family? Take 2 aspirins and go to bed. You know what I mean? Okay, that's it. Now,
What's
what
your
else?
PhD in?
Well, what's my what? PhD? Well, unfortunately, it's in theater, but I studied ecology most of the time. And I wrote a dissertation on a dissertation, not a thesis. A dissertation is 300 pages, and a thesis is 60 pages. Ecological Aesthetics is the name of the dissertation. And I haven't published the book yet, but it's on the way. And as a matter of fact, anybody who sees this and wants to publish a book should call me or call Mission Emergency, right? Is that what we're recording for?
Mission Local.
Mission Local? That's different from vocal, local. It's a good idea. I'm glad we're working together here. I don't know why I'm here, but anyway, they found me on the street. I was walking by and they just made it. Started just shoot somebody.
We do that actually a lot. And
I'm not, yeah, I'm one of those people, I know.
This was a find.
I used to hang out here and we do deals on the corner of 20th and Cap. And did you want to explain what 20th and Cap is?
Let's talk about where we are right now.
Oh, where we are now. Okay, let's talk about where we are. That's a
Right.
good one. Here we are. We're in the park, Alioto Park. As a matter of fact, Mayor Alioto inaugurated this park, and we knew he was going to do it. And we came here with a meme troupe people at the time. We came here and became an audience behind him. And I gave a speech, and but it was a kind of boo and yay speech. Hooray, boo. So every time I said something, they said boo, and then I said something positive, hooray, and it was boo and ray and boo and ray and ray. And here's a park, we should have owned this. We should have had this park named after the meme troupe, because this was where the meme troupe was founded, essentially. I had a studio, yeah, we used to come in a doorway over there, and then the front of the building was here. And here's a picture of this. You want to do the picture of this abandoned church. Can you get that? 1964?
I'll pick it up.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me when. So why don't we talk about when you came here and what led you to start the San Francisco Mime Troupe? Like what
Meme, right? Are we
Yeah,
saying
it started as mime and then it went to meme. So pretty much, just explain from.
French meme. I studied meme in Paris, and also was in a meme company in New York. So that was called the American Meme Theater. And then you study. When I got a Fulbright and went to Paris to study with Etienne Decroux, who is the father of modern meme, and taught Jean-Louis Barrault. Jean-Louis Barrault is a great performer, and he worked with him and so on. And many people came out of that company and worked out of Decroux's studios, and they went to Piccolo Teatro di Milano, and there were Japanese people in the company, I mean in the classes, and Americans, and I was one of the Americans they allowed in. I didn't speak very much French, but they allowed me in any case. And studied with him for about 6-8 months and so on, and then came back here, and instead of staying in New York, I disliked New York intensely, and so drove out to California to join the hippie movement. Well, the post-beatnik movement, as a matter of fact. I mean, I got here in '59, so the bagel factory was open and the coffee gallery is open, and within a year they all moved. They moved on. In fact, in Paris, I had met somebody from California who was a traveling promoter of the hippie movement. And he said, the hippie movement is terrific. And I asked him, of course, why are you in Paris? Well, because there's too many hippies in San Francisco. And it's much rather if you're a heroic hippie in Paris than you're, and he actually gave a talk at the Mistral bookstore, which is a famous American English bookstore. Any case, so I came to San Francisco right at the right time, as a matter of fact. And then opened a studio, my own studio, and joined the Actors Workshop. San Francisco Actors Workshop was one of the most progressive of the regional theaters before resident theaters. And Herbert Blau and Jules Irving and Alan Mandel and about 150 other non-professional, well, it was a conglomeration of people who were amateurs and also had been professionals. And there were a lot of people in that company who didn't want to be in Broadway or Los Angeles, and it made a difference. And so it was a very dynamic place. And the best thing of it was that they used the best of the European plays after World War II. And so did all Genet and Brecht and Beckett and John Whiting and the English and the Germans and the Dutch, whoever wrote a play after World War II was better than the American playwrights. Actually, they tried to do some American plays, they were not very good. But the best was Beckett or Brecht or Osborne and John Arden. Anyway, half a dozen or a dozen European plays. I was in that company for 3 years and worked as an assistant director, and then performed on stage with them and learned how to direct, and worked with Blau, and I worked with actually Bill Ball, who later on took over and had ACT, and so on. And I was in a company of guys like Lee Barua, who was in Mabu Mines, and Who else? And Ken Dewey was an avant-gardist, and a whole bunch of people in that company. I left it at the point when the Actors Workshop got a grant from Rockefeller, and Rockefeller lifted this company and dropped it right in New York and said, this is American National Theater. Of course, that's impossible, because the Actors Workshop was a homegrown little operation. And within a year, they were lambasted by New York critics because the assumption was, you're going to be a San Francisco theater company and you're going to show us what to do. And in addition, they were not that good. I mean, they were not that great. I mean, to convince the New York people that there's something else besides Broadway or off-Broadway, very difficult. So, and Herbert Blah made a mistake by opening with Danton's Death, which is a gigantic play, which you can't do unless you are Tyrone Guthrie, who was a great director at one time and a bunch of English actors who are good. So the Actors Workshop left and was unfortunate. They then left a hole in the city, and it was taken over by ACT and Bill Ball, and it turned into a kitsch operation, you know, showboat, show business. And then I left the Actors Workshop prior to their going to New York and said, okay, I want to play for the audience that's in the parks. The Actors Workshop actors didn't really like their audience after all. It's a kind of middle-class audience. They're nice people, but they didn't like their audience. And if the actors don't like your audience, then you should go somewhere else. And I went to the parks, or I also was connected to the avant-garde movement, theater movement.